Hello and welcome to Detailing Essentials, the unsung heroes of car care right here on the Golf Diaries. Today, microfibers. Hello, welcome back to the Golf Diaries. My name's Mark and welcome to our first Detailing Essentials video, kind of the unsung heroes of car care. And today we're talking about microfibers. So this will be a monthly series and the next one I'll tell you about at the end of this video. So yeah, today, microfibers, microfiber cloths. If there is one tool in your armory that none of us can do without if you take car care seriously, it's these things. Microfiber cloths. And I won't be talking today about other microfiber products that you can buy, such as wash mitts, drying towels and so on, because they'll come in subsequent videos. It's purely about the cloths. So microfiber cloths you will need if you want to clean your car safely, particularly the paintwork obviously, and not all microfibers are created equally. They're not all the same. And if you're just getting into detailing, you might have a few microfibers in your collection already. The one thing I can guarantee is as you get further into detailing, you'll certainly, your collection will grow. It is amazing how many different jobs these things carry out for you. Now they are sometimes taken for granted, and again, not everyone appreciates that perhaps that there are so many different types of microfiber, or indeed if actually all those types are necessary. So I'm just going to go through a few, not all of them, otherwise this would become a very long video. I want to keep this video pretty short if I can. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of the different types of microfiber that I've got here on my trolley here, just a few general care tips for microfibers, whether you've got one or two, whether you've got a whole collection. First and foremost, don't cross-contaminate your microfibers. So by that I mean that if you use a particular product with any given microfiber, don't then go and use the same microfiber for a different product before you wash it. On the subject of washing, and this is something that a lot of people, even very experienced in detailing, sometimes get confused about, is how do you actually care for a microfiber cloth? It's actually quite simple. The basic rule is that you wash them on a low temperature using a non-bio wash powder, or of course you can buy dedicated microfiber washing products. This is the one that I choose to use, but pretty much most of the main detailing brands do their own version of that, and definitely I would recommend it. It's not just a marketing scam. It is genuinely they are generally very good for prolonging the life of your microfiber. A microfiber, it's just a cloth, but you know what? It's like any other tool. If you look after it, it will last you a very long time, and it will do a very good job. If you abuse it, it won't last long, and it's probably on your second or third use of it, you'll start to see the performance of it start to tail off, and obviously you don't want that. In terms of drying it, once you've washed it, then the general advice is not to tumble dry. If you do, it has to be a low heat. Because of the makeup of microfibers, they are quite heat sensitive, and they can actually, some of the fibers can melt if they go into a tumble dryer. So it's best to air dry in a non-dusty environment, so not in your garage or something like that where it's going to attract any dust, because obviously a damp one of these with dust on, the dust is going to get entwined into the fibers, and then you're going to end up potentially marring your paintwork. A couple more rules with microfibers that are worth bearing in mind is, and this one sounds really obvious, but I'm amazed how often I see people do this, even on YouTube videos, when they know there's going to be lots of people watching. You'll see someone drop a microfiber on the floor, just give it a good old shake, and then just carry on using it. Please don't do that. It's your car, it's up to you of course, but yeah, as a car lover, it pains me to see that, because even though you may think that giving it a quick shakedown and you're fine, you've got any dust, any bits of grit off, there's a very good chance that you haven't. So if you drop a microfiber on the floor, regardless of what it is, what you're using it for, put it straight in the wash bin and do not use it until it's been washed. That's just my advice to you. And secondly, if you are using a ceramic, if you're using a microfiber with a ceramic or something that's high in SiO2, and if you're just starting out in detailing, chances are you won't, but if you do, I would strongly recommend that once you've used it, you hate to say it, bin it. I personally, and it's a personal thing, it's your call, of course, it's your car. But personally, if I was using a microfiber with a ceramic product, I would only give it the one use and then it would go straight in the bin. You know, some of these products are just too strong for a detergent to remove, and the last thing you want is putting a kind of microfiber back on fresh paint after it's been used with a ceramic coating and having some of that coating still in the microfiber. So yeah, just to be on the safe side, I'd strongly recommend you bin it. So how do you choose the right microfiber for you? Well, it depends on a number of things. First of all, what do you want to use it for? So the intended usage will determine the kind of microfiber that you want to buy. And we'll go into that in a little bit more detail in a second. The other things to consider are to make sure that the microfiber has a soft edge. Most do, to be fair, certainly from detailing retailers, but again, just worth checking. Obvious reasons, you don't want any harsh or abrasive edges going anywhere near the paintwork. The other thing is size. So they come in various sizes. Obviously you've got a kind of a general size, but then you can also get the kind of tiny ones like this, which are ideal for around door shuts and kind of getting into all the nooks and crannies when you're detailing your car. But again, when you're first starting out, you don't necessarily need anything like that. That's a kind of a bit of a luxury. But as you start to grow your collection, I think you'll find that you end up getting kind of speciality cloths, of which that is one. The other thing to consider is the GSM, it's the density. And as I say, that's normally stated in a number alongside the letters GSM. Don't ask me what GSM stands for, I haven't got a clue. I should have researched that. So learning tip there, research your facts a little bit better, Mark. So anyway, GSM is what you want to look for. And in general terms, the lower the GSM is ideal for kind of general purpose microfibers. The higher GSM are like these bad boys here, which are so soft. They're ideal for kind of delicate areas and delicate jobs. But again, we'll come back to usage in just 1 second. Of course, the other thing you need to consider, because it's important, is price. Now, prices for these really do vary depending on particular brands. And I'm not going to talk about brands today. That's not what I'm here for. I mean, I tend to use Clean Korea just because I kind of like Clean Korea products. But I've also got Microfiber Madness, Rag Company. There's lots out there and they are available at different price points. So again, you can shop around. As long as you look at GSM, soft edges, sizes and your intended use, you can't really go that wrong. The final thing to consider, and this may sound a little bit odd, but it's the country of manufacture. Now, the reason I say the country of manufacture is basically there's a country that is renowned for making the best quality microfibers, and that is Korea. So if you see a microfiber is made in Korea, it's normally a good sign that it's going to be a quality, long-lasting microfiber. That's not to say you can't get good quality microfibers from elsewhere. I know China tends to get a little bit of a bad rep for quality of products, but you know, I've had some microfibers made in China that have been absolutely first class. But yes, certainly the Korean factories do seem to have cornered the market in a high quality microfiber. So, uses. First and foremost, you need to decide what you want to use microfibers for. Microfibers are a tool, that's all they are. And like any other tool, for any other job, the right tool will allow you to get the best results, used correctly. That's always the caveat here, used correctly. And I will explain a little bit about that actually, because that's a very fair point even with these. You kind of think, cloth, how can I misuse them? You can. But yes, it's a tool. So it is a variable in whatever job you're doing. The other variables are product, and the final variable, actually there's two more variables, the paintwork, the condition of the paintwork, and the final variable, which is the one none of us want to admit is ever a problem, is, yeah, user error. So, and any job you do on the car, you need to consider the microfiber's place in that job. By that I mean, some products, you can go out and you can buy the latest, greatest product that everybody on YouTube has been raving about, and you know, your mate down the pub has said it's the best thing since sliced bread on his car. Great. And you might try it out and think, wow, is that it? And feel very underwhelmed. Put it in the back of the cupboard. We've all done it, I've done it, and never to see the light of day again and think that you've just spent a load of money on nothing. The reality is, you might have been using the wrong cloth. And it sounds crazy, but there are products out there that work better with a long pile over a short pile, or a short pile over a long pile. So my advice to you is, ever you have that experience where a product, a chemical is not responding how you think it should, change up the cloth, change the type of cloth. And also, again, look at your own technique, because you could be doing completely the wrong thing without realizing. So, but yes, the cloth will make a difference to a product's performance. Trust me, I've been there. The Enzo Gleam quick detailer that I recently reviewed was really underwhelming with this cloth. As soon as I switched to this cloth, whoa, spot on. So definitely, this is a tool. Always consider this as a variable in the process. So on that note, what are the uses that I tend to use microfibers for, and what would I recommend to you as a new to detailing person you need to start your collection off? Right, first of all, you want a general purpose cloth, and they're normally kind of fairly short pile cloths like this one here, or this one, which even looks shorter but bizarrely is actually softer. And that's going to be used for quick detailers on the paint. You can use it on the alloys. You can use it on pretty much any part of the car. You can use it in the interior. And yeah, there's just so many uses for a good general purpose cloth. The thing is with general purpose cloths, again, following obviously do not cross-contaminate the products, don't drop on the ground, all that kind of general kind of common sense, I guess. But after you've used them a good few times, they start to lose a little bit of their softness. They wear, like any tool, they wear out. So that's the time you perhaps want to drop them down to my next usage sector, which is dirty work. Now, this is kind of come out of my kind of, it's going to sound wrong if I said this comes out of my dirty collection. That's like takes me back to being a teenager. Let's not go there. But yeah, so this basically comes. I wish I hadn't said that. But this was at one stage a microfiber that I used on the paintwork. It started to wear. It's still quite soft, but yes, it's definitely seen better days. So this is now what I use on the engine bay, on exhaust, wheel arches, underside of the car, all that kind of stuff. Where you know you're going to get a couple more uses out of it, and then it's going to go in the bin. So you can, when you're starting out, because obviously when you're starting out, you've not passed anything down the line, so to speak, you can buy just cheap microfibers off eBay, and you can use those quite happily. Polish Bliss, I know other retailers do, but I like the guys at Polish Bliss, so I'll give them a shout out. Polish Bliss do disposable towels, which for I think 12 quid for a dozen towels, so £1 a piece. You can use them once, use them twice, whatever, and then throw them away. But yeah, definitely I'd recommend, as time goes on, just keep your general purpose towels, turn them into dirty work towels. So the microfibers everyone goes out and gets straight away, because they're really cool and they look cool and they feel lovely and soft, like this one. It's seriously soft. Are the long pile towels. Now generally you tend to use these for things like removing waxes, removing quick detailers, and so on. Yeah, really nice towels to use. Definitely you've got to have a couple of these in your armoury. With any of these, when you're starting out, start off general purpose, start off 3 or 4, 5 towels. You can get packs of 10 if you wish to, but you can never have enough of them, because you will go through them, different products, different towels, and so on. So just in the course of doing 1 or 2 cars, you're going to go through a lot of these. You don't go through quite so many of these, because these are a little bit more specialist. So it's definitely worth getting, I would say, 2 or 3 of these in straight away. And most of the big brands will sell them in kind of 3 packs and stuff like that. So, but yeah, definitely these you need to get in as soon as possible. Then moving on to the interior, as I said, you can use general purpose cloths. I do. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. You can buy specialist interior cloths. They're there. It's an option. But when you're starting out, don't go out and buy everything unless you really want to. There's nothing wrong with that, but you don't need to. You can use general purpose cloths. Just buy a slightly bigger pack of these when you're starting out. You can use them on the interior. Now, a little tip with any of these cloths, particularly if you're going to use them in the interior, is if you get a pack of microfibers which is a little bit linty, and sometimes they can feel a little bit abrasive when you first get them, put them in the washing machine. Before you've used them, put them in the washing machine, and you'll find that the lint problem goes away. You do not want to be using one of these on an interior and getting lint all over your upholstery, because then you'll have to get the Hoover out and it becomes a pain in the rear. So, and certainly also on the paintwork, just having the softest possible towel is a good place to start. So it's worth just giving them a quick kind of spin through the washing machine, and away you go. The one exception with the interior, the one kind of specialist cloth I would recommend you getting is a glass cleaning cloth. Again, get a couple if you can. You'd be amazed how quickly going around one car, even one that's pampered like this thing, you know, going around one car, it will load up with product. And obviously if it's a daily driver or something, it's probably going to load up with a bit of dirt and film and things like that as well. So get a couple of those to start with, and they're just so much more effective. Again, you can use a general purpose towel, but these specialist glass cleaning towels are just easier to use. They're less streaky in their finish and so on, so definitely worth investing in a couple of those. In terms of specialist towels, again, you don't need any specialist towel when you start off, in my opinion, but as your collection grows, and you know what it's like, you put an order in with a retailer and you see something sitting there, just, you know, recommended product, and you think, yeah, you know, I've done it. I bought that recently, the tiny little thing from the rag company, I think it is, because I needed to spend an extra £2.50 to get free shipping. So it was like, yeah, I'll have a microfiber, thank you very much. So we all do it. So as and when that happens to you, you know, you can certainly look at getting specialist towels like this green monster here. As I said right at the start, this is not a brand review or anything like that, but I know there's been a few guys on YouTube that have recommended this particular microfiber, and I'm going to add to that number. It's the Clean Korea Green Monster. It's an animal of a microfiber. It's phenomenal, and that's not me giving Clean Korea the big up. That's just me saying this product, once you've tried it, you wonder how you ever managed without it. It's got quite a rubbery texture to it. It doesn't feel like a microfiber, I've got to be honest, and you certainly wouldn't want to put it on your precious paintwork. But for getting stuck into the engine bay, you would be amazed at the dirt that this thing takes off, regardless of whatever chemicals you use. You don't have to use chemicals with it. Clean Korea say you can just use it with water. I've done so with my other one over there, which is showing the signs of wear. It needs a bit of a wash, yeah, and it really does work. So, but you will find that these things are added to your collection as time goes on. I think it's very easy with detailing, whether it's microfibers or any other detailing product, to think that you need absolutely everything right from the start. Honestly, you don't. But hopefully, what I've gone through today, albeit very quick, I appreciate that I rushed through some of these sections. So any questions, please drop them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them, point you in the direction of various articles and things like that to help you in a little bit more. But obviously, I can talk a bit too much, and I was determined not to make this into a long video. But yeah, if you stick to the kind of few basic rules that I've gone through today with microfibers, you can't go wrong. And after that, experiment as you see fit. And that's the great thing about detailing. It's fun, and you can experiment and you can learn new tricks with new tools. But the microfiber, this is without doubt an unsung hero of detailing, and none of us would be able to do our cars the justice that they deserve without a nice selection of these. So that's it from me today. Hope you found something informative there, something of help. By all means, if I've skipped over something too quickly or you've got any questions, please leave me a comment in the comments down below, and I'll certainly do my best to answer any questions you can, or point you in the direction of, you know, various Google articles that are out there on microfibers. And if you really want to look into microfiber technology, it is actually quite interesting. So I would recommend doing a bit of a Google and doing that. So yeah, coming up in the next couple of weeks, I will do another one of these detailing essential videos, which will be about microfiber wash mitts and drying towels. And yeah, it is going to be something that we do one of these every 3 to 4 weeks around the other content that we've got planned. So until next time, take care, enjoy your detailing. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.